over the last roughly 30 years, the shareholders have made more money than the employees. The division of the actual profits have been hugely distorted. Employers are coming to terms that they need to provide wage increases.
Dr. Ram Charan. I know you hate to hear doctor, but in fact, you were a professor at Harvard Business School, right?
Yes.
Yes. And what's been called the CEO whisperer. So you talk to the world's most successful business leaders and families, I understand, very, very wealthy people, about strategy.
Yes.
And my God, aren't we in need of strategy right now? Everyone talks about the millennial and the Generation Z population. They currently make up, at least in the United States, about 40% of the US workforce, but growing. The reality, though, is if you're under 40, you've never experienced an economic downturn.
Correct.
You just don't even know what it means.
Yes.
When I look at my audience and the people I speak to, the HR professionals, personally who are under 40, or the people managers who are managing people who are under 40, what do you need to be ready?
The first thing I want them to know, want all of you to know, in my work today, my largest customer has a market value over 200 billion.
Got it.
I have a small customer, my smallest customer, whose revenues are $4 million.
Wow.
And I have lots of them in between.
Okay.
And almost 70% of my work is with the family-owned companies.
Yes.
So they feel the pinch about it.
They feel the pinch directly.
Now, so the key is, in this downturn, number one, protect your critical talent. Preserve it, help them, whatever help they need. No company can win without talent. Number two, if you don't have cash, you won't go anywhere.
Right.
So you reprioritize, you rethink. Where would you put cash? Where would you extract cash from?
Yes.
Inventories, receivables. You got to extract that cash. You don't grow. You take the superficial growth out. You reduce number of colors, number of variations. You reduce customers that are not going to be cash positive for you.
So Ram,
that's survival.
I'm hearing you say that's for corporations. I'd like to talk about what do you say to the employee? And it's interesting, I'm hearing a lot of parallel.
An employee creates three segments.
Okay.
One is the technology talent.
Okay.
And that specialist talent. That specialist talent is very crucial.
Yes.
You got to keep it.
Yep.
You got to nurture it.
Yes.
More importantly, you got to keep them engaged.
Okay.
Excited. They got to see the new silver lining. Don't give them the sweeping the floor jobs.
Okay.
That's one. Second is the people who are facing customers. You got to preserve them. Give them the support, both psychological, tools, and so on. In between are middle managers.
Yes.
And the middle managers is tough.
Yes.
Now, we will see in the downturn reduction of middle managers. Period. And so we got to take care how you deal with them sensitively.
Yes.
Could you do retraining for them? There will be new jobs in silver lining.
Yes.
This period of inflation, downturn, and maybe increased prices and downturn may last more than 2 years. So we got to figure out a way, what could be the new jobs for them?
Yes. Retooling, employees.
Retraining, reskilling.
Yes.
We owe them. Now I come to the tough point.
Yes.
A responsible citizen company will not hesitate to go into cash deficit if they can sustain and retool the people's skills.
Yes. Do both.
Do both. So I have a Japanese company in the COVID period. That's what they did.
Okay.
They say, we have enough money. We preserve talent.
Yes.
It's a societal thing we need to do.
Yes.
At the end of the day, if all our corporations became responsible for this, I guarantee you our period of decline will also decline.
That's right. It would abbreviate it. So, but I want you to go one level deeper. So you've told me about people managers. You've told me about what corporations should do, et cetera. I'd love the listening audience here to hear from you about how they individually are going to get to the other side of this.
Excellent.
Money management. So yes, corporations need to save cash.
Yeah.
But what about the individual?
The individuals. First is the psychology. Second is see where their cash coming, where their cash going.
Right.
Now I come to the tougher part. There will be people who will be laid off.
Period.
It is for them I'm addressing.
Yes.
Those who are in the jobs, it's okay. They'll manage. Those who are laid off, they must keep busy. Mental busyness is important. Do not allow commiseration.
Yes.
Do not allow depression. Be sure we will be through this in less than 3 years. We will see the early warning signals when we're coming out of this period.
Yes.
We know how to do that. And then we say, keep your mind busy. How? Learn new skills that are available free today, and more will be available.
That's right.
Look for new kinds of jobs to go to.
Yes.
And say, unfortunately, I got this sabbatical.
Sabbatical. I like that.
It's unfortunate, but it is.
Right.
But take the period. I'll tell you mine. March 20, 2020, I was in Honolulu. COVID is stuck. And my secretary said, why don't you stay there? Now, I have money. I have patience. I'm single. I have no real family responsibilities. So I stayed there for 5 months. It's a sabbatical for me. I would have never taken 5 months. And guess what I did? I wrote a book.
How about that?
Write a book, write an article, do some research, learn a new thing, and say, this is my period to be much better than I was before this.
Gosh, that is sage.
Do the family. Get the family. If you don't learn alone, get a buddy.
Yes.
Meet together.
Yes.
Go to the house, learn something. What do you learn? New skills. What kind? We have environment. We have carbon. We have the water usage that needs to change. There are a ton of things. Go to the climate area. Go to local community where the people can learn new things.
So here's what I want to tell you. So you said that's for the folks who find themselves on sabbatical. No choice, and sometimes not even their fault, because we are going to have to cut into the organization. Even these are people who are performing well, who are going to lose their job. But here's what I want to do. We've spent the last 2 years in particular,
yes,
employees expecting 5, 6, 7% increases, bonuses, promotions every 12 months. What do you say to the employee who's going to keep their job, but now is going to live in a very, very different environment?
So in my companies, I'm on the board, some of them, we're now budgeting over a 3-year period, 20% cumulative wage increase.
Interesting.
It's backed in. Now, not be sentimental.
Right.
They will increase the price to cover the increase.
So I want to talk about that because employees want more, wage inflation. The consumer is saying, I'm not willing to pay more because I can't pay more. You've said to me a number of times, demand is going to decrease.
It's going to decline.
Revenues are going to decline.
They will.
So how do you reconcile those two things? Wage inflation, consumers saying because of life's inflation, I'm not going to pay more.
This is the dilemma of this, what I call bathtub.
Okay.
It's going to last 2 to 3 years.
Period.
And then what will happen, could happen, because it requires coordination between particularly the Fed of the United States, the same agency in China, and same agency of the European market.
Yes.
That is going to be a crucial part of it. The key will be that eventually the factors that will get us out of this is the increasing in costs will have to be tempered. But we will have to get the early warning signals when this has begun to change.
Yes.
The first early warning signal will be that, and could be, I'm not predicting it, but I want everybody to be prepared for it, a deep downturn in demand.
If you have a deep downturn in demand, while employees are expecting more money. You just told me you're at a company.
Yeah, they will go more on the downsizing than reduction.
So you'll
wages.
pay the remaining people more, that 20%
Yeah.
that you. So that's it. Reduce the volume of employees, but pay the remaining people more competitively to get them to the other side.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Got it.
It has begun.
That's
because there are other costs that are insidious.
Yes.
The indirect costs have gone through the roof.
Yes.
They need to be terminated.
Got it. No, do more with less. Thank you, Dr. Ram Charan.